Rodents, you know you got them, you know you need bait boxes, but you don't know which one, which bait box to use. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Craig here again, howtopest.com. It is that time of year. You can tell it's getting colder by even what I'm wearing. Those rodents are looking for a way into your house.
The rats are everywhere.
And you've decided it's not going to happen, not at your casa. So you've decided you're going to use bait boxes. But as you look at them, you don't know which bait box to use, which poison to use. Well, you've come to the right channel. Today we're going to show you which bait box you may want to use, and we'll show you the different methods for each one and how they work, and then you can make that decision. So let's get into it today. As you can see, I got about 4 different bait boxes out here. Now, is this every bait box out there? No, and I'll explain a couple as we go through the video. But let's start with this rock bait station. So this rock bait station by Protecta is just made to look like a rock, just like the name. It's made to blend in with your landscape. So I brought it over here close to some rocks. This is what it would look like. You would put it out here or wherever you want it, and it kind of just blends in and doesn't look like a black bait box. Now, that being said, you are going to pay for a rock bait station a little more than you pay for other type of bait stations, just because you're getting the aesthetics and the pretty look of a rock. All these bait boxes come with a key. I don't care if it's the rock bait box or it's any of these other ones we'll talk about today. They all have their own key. And what that does, that locks that bait box to prevent pets and children and unwanted critters from getting in there and getting to the poison that you have put in there. So, as you can see, I showed you it looks like a rock. On the other side are the holes. And this is where the rodents enter, and then they get at that bait. This one I already have unlocked. So when you open it, it's going to look like this. This one's nice. It comes with a removable tray that when it gets bad, you can just throw this away if need be, or just clean it as you go. You see these 4 holes right here. They're not holes yet, but they're going to be when you poke your rod through there. That's also where you poke the rod that holds the bait. So you would puncture that, and then it would go into the hole right there. Now you're going, what's he talking about by rods? Well, let me get into one of these and see if I can show you. Each bait box, like you just saw I pulled out of there, are going to come with a card, which allows you to date the bait box so you know the last time you actually put poison in it and what type of poison you put in there. And then it comes with these 4 rods, because each one of these has 4 different little sections. So what you do is you just take the rods, and I'm going to move this tray out of the way so I don't puncture through that one, but that's what you would do. You would just poke the rod through there. It easily pokes through, and then it goes into here, and then you just put your bait of choice. And then you close the bait box, and you're good to go. How do these open? Well, the rock bait station, it takes, let's find it, it takes this key right here, which will come with the box. You see I already have this open. As you place the key in, let's see if I can do this standing up. You'll take it, always push and turn. Did you guys hear that lock? That little click? It's counterclockwise on this one. So bam, boom, hear it click? Counterclockwise, clicks. Now it's locked. Your bait's in, you place it out there. That is the Protecta rock bait station. Let's move this tray over to the side. It will come, though, with the rods, just like this, just like you see in this Sidekick over here that we'll get into it in a minute. And they all have the same thing. They come with those rods and give you options. Now, this is a Protecta bait box. It comes with a horizontal rod like this, where you can slide bait onto it. But it will also come with those 4 rods that I just showed you in the rock bait station. And you would just put your bait of choice in there. So you either go like this. It just allows you to really bait this thing up if you have high activity and you really need to hammer it to do a knockdown program in the beginning. Now, this one takes the same key as the Protecta Sidekick. Like I said, these keys come with it. These are a little tougher to open. It's a lot easier if you put them on the ground or you hold them against yourself and you press like that, and it pops it open, and then you're good to go. When you place these bait boxes, everything except for the rock it's best to put these against the wall. So the holes are against the wall and it lines it up for when they're coming through. Will they find it otherwise? Yes, but it just makes it a little better that way. So I would place the holes against whatever structure that is, fence, wall, building, what have you. Now, these Protecta LPs, they also come with a built-in cinder block. So if you are on commercial accounts, you pest control operators out there, and you're worried about people moving them, can they still move them? Yes, but it holds it down from not only people and from the elements, the wind and things like that, from blowing your boxes around. What's great about all these bait boxes, let's open this one back up, is that they give you so many options. So let's say you don't have the block, you don't have the cinder block. What else can you? You can take an adhesive, as simple as a silicone or a liquid nails, and you can adhere it to a surface. Does it have to go that way? No. Let's say you want to go up on the wall, like so, like that. Then you can glue this to the wall, and it's out of the way. It gives you a lot of options on mounting this thing. Now here's another option. You see these holes in the back? It allows you to put a wire or a zip tie and zip tie this to a fence line. It also gives you drill points right here. So the options are endless with these base stations. They allow you to basically mount these things and put them out any way that you'd like to do it, whatever works best for your application. Okay, let's move along. This is the EZ Klean bait box. As you can see, this one has the key on it, but I'm going to keep reiterating it. They all come with their own key. This is the key. We just have the black version of it. That's the gray version. They work the same exact way. Let's pop this sucker open. This one shows you the arrow on it. So you're going to twist the key that way. You're going to put it in. Remember what I said? Always press down and then turn. You'll hear a click and you're in. Okay. This one has a couple different things than the other ones. So this one is going to come with these horizontal poles like this. They give you 2 of them. They also give you the card in here. It allows you to date your bait box. Put that back in there. But what they do, let's move these out of the way. They give you a removable tray. And if the camera can see that, it says soft bait. Do you see that on there where it says soft bait? So that's what this tray is for. Can you put the rods in here and put soft bait on them? Yeah, you can. So do you have to use this? No, but this is nice because when you get like the debris from a bait block that I'll show you here in a minute, you can take these out and just shake them off and put them back in. Now you may be asking, what are these things right here? These act like rods. You just snap these off and you put them in those holes right there. And now you have a vertical way of putting the bait in there. So just a removable tray. It gives you a lot of options. We actually sell these replacement trays on howtopest.com. So if you run out, just jump over there and we can get these out. They come in a 2-pack. Put that back in, same thing. Gives you ways to mount. So you can go like that. You can go like that. You can put it to a block. You can get your own center block and you can glue it to that. EZ Klean bait box. Last but not least, the Sidekick. I told you how it comes in the pack with these little bars in here, these metal rods. Sidekick, once again, metal rods go right here and then you mount. Also gives you options of putting a zip tie or holes to drill in if you want to drill into wood or something like that. Or once again, you can mount a block to it. Opens with the same key, little metal key. You basically just put it in, you push, twist away from you. These take a little more effort. Sometimes they're a pain in the butt when the plastic's brand new. So brace it on something on the ground. I'm going to see if it's easy enough for me on here. Pops open. But you see, you got to give a little effort on these. But these are great bait boxes. Now, what's one of the main differences in these bait boxes? They all hold up really well. They're all made to be pet resistant. You can have pets that will actually, I've had Rottweilers that have actually chewed on these things and never got in. Would they eventually get into them? Yes. So you need to keep these out of the way of pets or put something on top of them like a rock or a cinder block where the pets cannot get to them to do that. But they all lock for that reason, to keep pets out and kids out. So that's the great thing about them. They all are made of durable plastics. But this Sidekick, Protecta Sidekick, is the best bang for your buck money-wise. So if you need to put a ton of these out, then this is the best bang for your buck. Or if you're just cheap, best bang for your buck. Okay, then they go up in price. EZ Klean, Protecta, and the Rock being the most expensive one. Now, Let me put my keys down. I wanted to show you guys the difference, and I think I brought gloves out here. If I can get into my pants. Okay, I wanted to show you guys the difference between these baits, a hard bait versus a soft bait. Look, I only brought you 2 baits out here, so you pest control professionals that may be wondering, why those 2 baits? Because it's the easiest 2 I could grab out of the trucks. There are a plethora of other baits out there. But let me tell you something, I do like flatline soft bait. This is a great clean out bait for me. So if I have a job that's just riddled with rodents, this is what we'll knock them down with, and then we'll go to more of like a contract right here, block bait for our maintenance. So this is what a soft bait looks like. They're pliable. They're like putty. Do you see that? It's just like putty. So what you do, did I put a rod in these? Let's just take this one right here. You take your rod and you just poke it through. That's how you bait those. And you put as many as you think you may need. Now, little professional advice. Unless you're doing a clean out, I wouldn't load this thing up with all my poison. I'd probably put between 2 and 4 of these on there, and then I'd come back and I'd check these in a couple weeks, and I'd see, hey, are they eating all the way through this? Now, if you're asking the question, do I need to take that bait out of the bag? No, you need to do what I just showed you right there. The bait stays in the bag. They'll eat through the bag, and all you'll have is the paper remnants once they've gone to town on this poison. So that's how you bait those. Now, if the rod were straight up and down like that, it'd be the same way. Or if it was over in, did I lock this one? I already locked that one. But if it was in those plastic ones that I showed you, those rods, same way. You just bait it on top of there. Here's a hard bait. They all have holes. I don't care which hard bait you get. Contract, generation, doesn't matter. On and on and on. All the hard baits. There's more hard baits than soft baits out there. Contract makes a bunch of fantastic hard baits. Now, hole, it just goes through the rod. Doesn't matter which rod you're using. Doesn't matter if it's vertical. Doesn't matter if it's horizontal. It's that simple. You just place them on. Once again, I don't think I'd load up all 4 of mine. If I did load up all 4 of the rods in there, it would be 1 on each one, unless I knew I was trying to do a clean out. You're just going to waste poison. A lot of these are mold resistant and weather resistant, so that's a great thing about them. They'll hold up for a long time, but it's still food. The rats are going for food, so the fresher, the better. That's how you bait these guys, a hard bait versus a soft bait. I think I've covered just about everything on these bait boxes. There are different bait boxes out there. These are some of my favorite ones. You can also, let me give you another trick on this one. The Protecta Sidekick, what it does, it allows for a snap trap to be put in there. So if you're not using poison and you want to put a snap trap in there, you can put it, they'll come in, it'll only catch 1 at a time, and you got to reset them, but it's another option for you. So that's kind of a cool feature of the Sidekick. The other ones don't really give you that option of putting a trap in there. Now, if you want trapping, but you want to keep them protective, then we have the EZ Snap traps. They look like these EZ Kleans, but they have a what looks like a zip tie that comes out, and as you catch the rats, it holds 2 traps in each one, whether you have the rat one or the mouse one. It has 2 traps in there. You don't even have to open it to know you have a catch. The zip tie has different colors. It goes down, and it shows you the different color that you have a catch, so you know to open it up, empty out that trap. Now, how often do you check your bait boxes? We check them once a month. You can go longer than that if you've already taken care of the job. You go back, all you're doing is cleaning out cobwebs and snails. Then you can back off a little further and go maybe every 2 months or even quarterly if need be. But in the beginning, you do not want your bait to go dry. You don't want enough bait in there where they only get sick and it doesn't kill them. These are anticoagulants. It's bleeding them to death. They need enough of that poison in the system to actually wipe out the rodent, whether it's mouse or rat. So that being said, stay on top of your bait boxes. Don't just bait them one time and then forget about them and then wonder why you still have a problem because you went dry on your bait or you went really low and they're not attracted to it anymore because now the ones that ate that got sick and they thought, oh no, I don't want any part of that. That is it for bait boxes, guys. They're really cut and dry. Don't be scared. It's a real simple process. Now you know the different bait boxes. Just get the one that works best for you. They all work the same as far as baiting. They're just cost goes up or goes down, and some have other options that other ones don't. That's it, guys. If you have any questions on bait boxes, if I haven't answered anything in this video, we'd love to comment, ask us a question. Hit that like button for us. It really helps us out. We appreciate it. It lets us know we're doing the right thing. And subscribe to the channel, man. We appreciate all you subs out there. Have a great day, guys.